Hey everybody, it's me, Jake from Jakin.off. Thanks for tuning in to yet another episode. This week, I am joined by my friend and very funny comedian. Give it up for Dustin Slentz, everybody. Let him hear it. Give Dustin a little round of applause. Even if you're driving your car, clap your hands. Clap your hands. You can find Dustin on Instagram at Dustin Slentz, and make sure you follow him. Go check out some stand-up. As always, you can follow this podcast at jakin.off.podcast. And you can fucking send anything at all to jakin.off.podcast at gmail.com. I'll look at it at least once if you send it there. So that's the rule. And also, if you're in the Kansas City area, every Sunday, Knuckleheads over there in the East Bottoms. Come to Knuckleheads, the Gospel Lounge. We got stand-up comedy every Sunday at 6 p.m. We're having a rip-roaring good time, so come and check out a show. I host most Sundays. See a lot of comedians from Kansas City that you've heard on this podcast, and comedians from around the country that you've heard on this podcast, maybe too. So make sure you come check that out if you ever get the chance. But other than that, I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Have a good listen to the episode.
Oh, won't you take off with me? Oh, I know it's your fantasy. Oh, won't you take off with me? Yeah, we're taking off every week.
Okay, that's fine with me. But it's been going hard, dude. And the show that you're on next week.
Oh, yeah. I saw Ryan's on it.
Hot lineup, dude. It's you, Ryan, HB, and Curtis.
Okay.
Pretty good lineup. I'm having everybody do 15 minutes. We don't have a headliner, so I'm stoked. Yeah, come to Knuckleheads if you're in Kansas City. Every Sunday, we're there. I don't promote any of my shows on here as much as I should have. I'm such an idiot, dude. I don't know about you, but I was really bored by the debate on
Dude, I just finished yesterday.
Thursday.
I had to watch it in 3 parts. It took me 3 days. I watched the first hour Thursday night, and the last 30 minutes took me 3 days to finish because it was just so...
Dude.
Once they started arguing about golf, I was like, this is what we deserve. This is,
it
we
really,
did this.
It really was so bad, dude. And, like, at first, when I first turned it on, because I watched it the day after. I didn't want to watch it the night of because I wanted to be able to, like, skip commercials, fast forward, that kind of thing. So I watched it on YouTube the next day. And at first, like, when the moderators were doing the intro and stuff, I had it on 1.75 speed because I was like,
Oh, see?
I'm going to speed this up. And then once I started, like, they actually started talking, I was like, I actually can't watch this like that because it's going to give me a false impression of how fast Joe Biden is talking.
Yeah, you don't. You want to put Joe on 0.75 and see how it goes.
Dude,
See, I don't think it was boring. I think it sucked.
You didn't think it was boring?
Sucks, but I was not bored.
I think it
Dude,
was both.
You could just
boring.
watch Biden's face for 90 minutes and not be bored, dude. Just like every time Trump started talking, he'd be like, especially, dude, when he did the suckers and losers thing, right? He's like, he called dead soldiers suckers and losers. Like, my son wasn't a sucker or loser. You're the loser. You're the sucker. And then Trump's just like, it's made up. And Biden's face was like, like he was like, no, that can't be made up. I would really needed that moment.
The strategy was like so bad. It's like, dude, you can't go into this thinking that you're gonna like pin Trump down on something. Like,
yeah, like
this guy's a weaselly little snake, dude.
Like you're gonna get the soundbite. You're not gonna get the soundbite. Debate against Trump.
I also thought they let Joe Biden have his mouth open way too much.
Bro.
I was like, why is this guy's mouth open the entire time, dude? Close your mouth, Joe Biden.
You know all the
his
like
breath probably smells like shit.
Trump saying he wanted him to take a drug test and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I think like after that like went viral and like everybody was talking about like how hopped up Joe Biden was on was during the State of the Union.
Yeah.
I think they were like, okay, we can't do that same thing because people are gonna know.
Yeah.
So they had
yeah,
to tone
yeah,
down the
yeah.
drugs a little bit.
I don't think that they did at all. I feel like I guarantee you.
You think
that
it's the same drugs?
Yeah, he's just having a bad day, dude. Most of
Okay.
his days are probably bad days. He's a
Well, he's-
fucking
no, they-
million years old.
Yeah, but he's been training, bro. He was at Camp David for a week.
dude.
They took him out of Washington. They're
There's-
like, you don't need any other stress. You got to debate this guy.
There's no
They surrounded him
training.
with his family.
There's no training for a debate with Donald Trump, dude. That guy is a
Well-
loose cannon. The funny thing is like, dude, Joe Biden did so bad that you haven't even heard anybody talk about Donald Trump in the debate just being insane, like lying. You know, he's like so over the top. But it's not even a story because of how bad Joe Biden did. I knew it was
Yeah,
bad.
I haven't watched any of like breaking down Trump's lies during the debate like I usually would, just because
Dude,
it's just been so fun to watch.
Nobody's even
Biden.
doing it.
It's
Everybody's just like, you get it. They're just like, you get it already. All Joe Biden had to do, dude, is just look. Even if he looked half as like as energized as he did at the State of the Union, it would have been. It would have been
Dude.
all the debate coverage would be about Trump. But now, dude, Claire McCaskill, I saw an interview with Claire McCaskill being like, this is like, you know, she's like a Democratic like operative now, like
Right, yeah.
DNC, like high up in the DNC. And she was like, my phone's ringing off the hook with donors and all this stuff that are like
she's gonna
really,
run?
no, like really pissed off about the debate
Right.
performance with Biden. And like they don't know what to do because like, you know, that's what she does now is she just like rounds up money. For
Even
the
now,
DNC.
CNN's like, should Biden step down?
Dude,
It's like,
everywhere.
It's like, dude, a year and a
Everywhere's
half ago,
doing
we
it.
all knew this.
Yeah,
We'd known for a
yeah.
year and a half that, oh God,
Yeah.
he's losing it.
And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, obviously, like I do think that like the extent that like, you know, you see on like fucking like Newsmax or whatever is like overblown
Of
in
course.
terms of like how unwell Biden is. But dude,
Of
even
course,
if it's
CNN like won't show it, and Fox News
Yeah.
will be like, what are they calling them? Cheap fakes now? They're like,
yeah.
they're putting extra frames in there. You're
Or,
like,
dude,
are, you're
no,
like, are they?
one of the ones that I saw
are
is
they?
they-
Is that cope or is that, are they really doing that?
One of the ones that I did see was they trimmed that one where they're like Joe Biden wandered off from like all these people.
Yeah.
They trimmed it because there's like
There
dudes
is
landing in
there's dudes,
parachutes, and he's like talking
he's like,
to
oh
them.
God, people are
Yeah,
coming down.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
yeah.
Just be honest. He wasn't wandering off looking at nothing. He saw things falling from the sky, and he was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, which also
They can
is
still do that, dude. They
also
did that in World War II.
is not how you want a president reacting to
No.
parachutes.
Well, whatever he was looking at, you don't want that face as a president. That's
They
not the
gotta
face.
get him to keep his mouth closed.
They
dude.
gotta do something to the face.
His mouth is open too much. They need to get him to close his mouth, dude. It's so funny. Every time they panned to Joe Biden, it was just him being
We're
like,
so fucked.
oh, yeah, dude. I thought it was so funny though afterwards that
I think he
Even-
at some point realized he was opening his mouth too much because then he started trying to smile and laugh at the things Trump said.
dude, it's such a there's really no winning with that guy.
When he said, "We beat Medicare,"
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh no!"
That's not good.
I was like, "What, Joe? No,
We weren't
nobody."
I didn't know we were even fighting Medicare.
And then Trump just like, "You did. You beat it into the ground." He's like, "Oh God." Trump,
Dude.
fucking Biden threw his own jab and just stuck his head out for the haymaker. He was just like, "Quit hitting yourself,
Yeah.
Joe. Stop it."
It was so bad. It was everything that I mean, honestly, I did think it was like so boring just because even though Biden didn't like he had the Medicare flub, the cat thing was like crazy. The thing where he's like, you got the morals of an alley cat. It's like, dude, what?
Dude, that rules. Joe does have some old sayings every once in a while. You're like, yeah.
My whole thing is like, I don't get why he doesn't, dude, like, you know what, man? Fucking take some pages out of the Donald Trump playbook. You give him a nickname, you know? Dude,
Yeah.
treason is Trump. I don't know, dude. Like, do something. Like, you gotta fucking... He's the worst old man ever, dude. Like, every old man that I've ever met in my life is, like, always, like, kind of like, "Pah," you know? Like a bit of a fucking scamp or
Yeah.
whatever. But Joe Biden's just dude, he's gone.
Like, if you
know?
give any old man a little bit of shit, they at least got one or two comebacks.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you don't know what it was like in my day, sonny. Something like that. I don't know, dude, but like, yeah, he's like, you got the morals of an alley cat. And it's like, dude, people like alley cats now. It's 2024. People they feed cats that live outside, man.
Wow.
You got to connect.
You telling me Joe Biden's out of touch, dude? That's crazy. I wouldn't go that far. I know we've said a lot of things. I would never call Joe Biden out of touch. That's wild.
Dude, did you see?
I know your swing. I've seen your swing. It's a terrible swing. He was never an 8 handicap.
Dude, it's so funny.
Let's stop being children. Trump said it. Trump said let's not be children.
Dude, stopped. They argued about golf. It's like there's a. I talked to Aaron about this before, but there's this dude. He's like a sociologist. His name is Neil Postman. But he wrote a lot of critiques on like television and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his biggest critiques of TV is like a medium for anything serious. He was like, the only thing you should do on TV is watch sports or like movies and stuff.
Okay.
Because
this guy sounds like makes some sense.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy. Entertaining Ourselves to Death is the name of his book. But,
okay, I've heard that
yeah,
book.
and but he talks about how he's like TV is destroyed like any.
I keep it right next to manufactured consent on my bookshelf.
But he
in between that and What's the Matter with Kansas.
Dude, he talks though about how television, like, you know, presidential debates back in the day, like when Lincoln was running for president, they would literally take a train and go town to town, and in each
like
town they would debate
people.
for like 7 hours, dude. And people would go watch them debate for 7 hours, and now it's like it's
You're
a
telling
joke.
me you could handle 7 hours of Trump Biden?
Well, dude, but exactly though, like we don't even have candidates that are like up to the task of being
Capable
president
of even,
anymore.
yeah.
But like, you know, you go on you watch a debate on TV, and they're like, "All right, Israel, Palestine, you have 2 minutes to answer this question," and it's like that's a joke, dude. Like, if any of us were actually serious about voting for president and stuff like that, we'd be like, you can't do this to us. Like, you can't do this. You can't make us have this. It's like a shame, basically.
Yeah.
But he talked a lot about that, and I think it's like it's so funny when you, like, he's dead now, but he would be mortified to see the presidential candidates being like,
Thank God he's dead.
my golf swing is better.
I just won 2 club championships. Not even the senior ones. And you got to be a pretty smart cookie for that.
Dude, did you see I don't know if you saw this. I got an alert on my phone when this happened. Bolivia had a coup.
Yeah.
But then, so they had this coup, and now the dust
If I
has
was in
settled.
office, they would have never had a coup. It would have been great.
Dude, but now
Joe Biden, let it happen. This guy can't even keep freaking Bolivia under control.
That's really good. That it does sound exactly like what you would say, too. Dude, but now the dust has settled. It's been like a week or so, and it's become apparent that actually it was the president himself who staged the coup to like fake.
Oh, a little false flag?
Dude, because he wanted more support from the Bolivian people. Dude, I was just
The
reading.
people in South America, they're coming to the border. There's so many of them every day because they're having coups by their own presidents. Joe Biden is just letting them in.
Dude, he's
the president who's running his own coup. He didn't even win the last election.
He fucking dude, he literally had like the way they staged it though, when they started releasing the details is hilarious, because basically what happened is they circled like the presidential palace in like a motorcade with like a tank, and then they rammed into the door with the tank, and this
Just
dude,
like some guys he paid? Or
like a general in the
Okay.
military. So this general in the military gets out and is like in the presidential palace, and the president had this staff that's like a symbol of presidential power in their country, with like all of the lawmakers around him, and he was just like had a standoff where he was like, "Stop!" It was like, "You shall not pass."
Hell yeah, dude.
And then the guy was like, "Okay," and then the general drove away,
To make
and
himself
then
look strong.
they arrested him. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like the
dude,
general tried to stage a coup, and I was just like,
yeah, I just
Stop.
stood there and was like, "You cannot coup." And so everybody, of course, like immediately once the details started coming out, they're like, "Hey, this actually doesn't seem."
I met a car
Like a
salesman like
coup
that
at
one
all.
time.
Really? What do you mean?
He came out like halfway through negotiating and like sat down this trophy on the table because he was a manager. And he's like, "See that? That's the chalice of authority. Means I get to make decisions around here." And I was like, "Bro, are you kidding me?"
Wait, he had like a sales trophy?
Yeah, it was like, I'm in charge, buddy, and I'll give you a good deal.
That's so fucking funny. Bringing out a car salesman trophy when you're in the middle of selling somebody a car is a bold move.
Well, the craziest part was like, I was like, hey, I used to sell cars. Like, I know everything you're gonna say to me. Just give me the number.
Yeah,
just give me the number and we'll start talking.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right. The guy comes out and he's like, what's that?
He's like,
did they not tell you that I was a car salesman, dude? This is so fucking lame. What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's like, you're not as much of a car salesman as I am. He's like, how do you know what I'm gonna say?
Well, I was a terrible car salesman.
I won state.
I was an honest person, and it makes that
You're
makes
an
it
honest guy.
hard to sell cars.
Yeah,
dude.
it does.
You can't
You're like,
be
no, this won't kill you.
You can't be like, you're saying, what'd you tell him, Dustin? I told him he's got 3 kids and he's already upside down in that car. Don't buy this thing. What are you doing, dude? Pay that off.
You're giving people financial advice.
Dude, there was a
That's
coup
so
in
funny.
like Congo too, right?
Like
It was like 3 guys.
no, yeah, but I think they squashed that one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, they squashed that one pretty
He
quick.
tried to take over a country with 3 people.
Dude, well, that whole like, I don't know
It was
if
like
you
some
know.
former college football player,
Yeah, dude, he was from
around here.
California.
or he played.
They
around here.
They lived in California. I think they were high school kids. They were like it
Yeah.
was a bunch of high school kids, and so this kid's dad who lived in California,
The dad was like a football star. He played like D1 football, and then he went back to Congo and like made it.
No. The dad was from Congo and like had
But
been
I think he
dispelled
came-
from Congo.
Yeah, but
Was my understanding.
I think he was
Now
from
let's look this
Congo,
up.
grew up in America.
The kid grew up in America.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about the dad. From Congo, grew up in America, went back to Congo as like kind of like a famous something, and kind of made it, and then got a little too cocky and started to make it politically too, and he came back
Yeah.
to America for a while when he got dispelled, and then after that he grabbed his like son and one of his friends and was like, we could probably take this country for like 30,000-40,000, bro.
Yes, Malanga, Christian Malanga. Let's look at this guy. I didn't know that he played football.
I thought that I might be remembering it wrong. We don't have to get too much in the deets.
Well, no, it's really interesting though because my understanding
but I do
was
like a
is
good coup.
this guy's son convinced his son's friends from America, convinced one of them to go over there with them. And
Yeah, but I
he
felt like the
pitched
dad
it-
was like the ringleader.
Yeah, the dad was the ringleader, but he pitched it as like, hey, we're going to go over there and just like hang out in the Congo and like
Be king.
do some stuff. And he didn't know.
Oh yeah, he didn't tell him
The,
about all
the
of it.
American kid, I guess, didn't know that they were going to do like a coup or something like that. It's all really fucking crazy. And yeah, they totally failed. The Congo has such a like, I don't know if you know anything about the history of that country.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, Belgium, dude. Turns out terrible nation. Turns out, like right up there, people see Belgium and they're
You
like,
could probably
oh,
safely say that about any country that has territory in Africa.
Yeah.
That has belonged to them instead of Africa.
Yeah. Belgium's just always one though that you see. You're like, oh, they're caught in the middle. They're never, they're getting
Those poor little
invaded by
guys.
Germany. Yeah. But then you dig a little bit deeper. You're like, oof, buddy, you guys kind of might have deserved that a little bit. Might have got what was coming to you. But yeah, dude, Bolivia's coup was fake. Congo's coup was real. Congo's coup was real. Oh, this is really
Uh-oh.
funny. This D&D company got accused of using Hillary Clinton as like the model for a paladin.
Oh no, dude, they Scarlett Johansson her.
Does that look? Look? They're like, yeah, they use Hillary Clinton.
It does not look like Hillary Clinton to me.
I didn't think so either. I was like, you guys.
If that's supposed to be Hillary Clinton, that's a very flattering drawing of her.
I
What
know,
the fuck's a
right?
paladin?
Yeah, a paladin is like it's like a knight that's pledged into the service of somebody. Usually, a paladin's gonna have like a little bit of magic.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
They're gonna be able to do a little bit of
some
magic.
casting abilities. I
Yeah,
get
like
it.
some stuff to like some
Yeah.
protection stuff like that. But
I'm more of
dude,
a brute myself, but sometimes you start playing around with that magic. It looks kind of fun.
I learned about this book about Hillary Clinton where it's a historical fiction book or like an alternate
If I did it.
history. Well, kind of though. It actually is kind of what it is about. She didn't write it. Some other very mentally ill person wrote it.
Come on.
And the book is about what if Hillary Clinton never married Bill Clinton, and like what her life would be like now. And it's crazy, dude. The book goes.
It's just like she'd be such a boss bitch. She'd be president. She'd be.
Dude, it's actually way funny.
She'd actually be queen of the world now.
It's way funnier because in the book, she just ends up being
You know, Hillary Clinton. She never should have married Bill. She could have been queen.
she ends up still not being president. And yeah, she ends up still not being president. And at the end, she's like, God, I want Bill Clinton still. So they wrote this book where it's like supposed to be like, oh, this like revisionist like Hillary thing where it's going to be, you know, and the way that it's written, it's like clearly supposed to be like pro Hillary.
Yeah.
But then it still is like, it's like, dude, even in the perfect fantasy, nobody can imagine her being president. It's like, it can't happen.
And she does need a man.
Yeah, and she needs Bill Clinton, dude. There's so much. I love this time of the year because there's so much election news or like, and this is when people start slipping up because we're getting really close to the convention. So this is when people start getting fucking bailed on or like ditched for dumbass shit. This lady, this is like a really small race, but she was running for Hennepin County Commissioner in Minnesota, and she was a conservative. She was like, I'm a conservative. The Republican Party endorsed her, and then they just dropped her endorsement because she got charged with domestic assault on her roommate.
Like that. They love that stuff.
But it's on her own roommate.
Didn't Lauren Boebert keep her seat, dude? They like.
Yeah, but she didn't do domestic assault. Lauren Boebert.
Well, there was children there.
Dude.
I would call that assault.
She just vaped. She just vaped and fucking sang along.
I'm sorry. If I bring my kid to Beetlejuice and some lady next to me is jerking off her dude on a first date,
dude, yeah,
my child was assaulted.
That's so funny. I forgot. I always forget because the thing that makes me laugh the most about that situation is that she was vaping and singing along.
And jerking a dude off,
dude. The jerking the dude off.
And then they're like, Miss, you gotta stop singing along so loud.
Yeah.
You can vape and jerk off in here.
I love that they had video of it too. Like they were just, and I don't know if you remember afterwards because the guy that she had gone out with was like
a Democrat.
Yeah, he was like a Democrat, like business owner or something. And she was like, he set me up. She was like, he set me up. It's like, dude, you were going to vape.
He didn't tell me he was a Democrat or that he had a hog. I had to touch it.
Look, I get a couple glasses of wine in me. I want to vape and sing Beetlejuice. What's
what are you going to do?
Dude? Oh, Lauren Boebert. But yeah, this lady is similar to this. This lady got into a fight with her roommate. So it was domestic violence against her own roommate.
I'm sorry. Roommate?
Yeah.
You can't run for office with roommates.
I agree. It should be illegal. But the situation was she owned a home and this lady was like needing a temporary place to stay because she was in town for work. She's like a lawyer. So she's renting out the bottom floor of her house to a lawyer.
So she's a woman of business then. Okay,
yeah, she's a woman of business.
I changed my mind.
But this lady who's renting out her house was like, hey, there's like a spider infestation here. And that kind of stuff. And I guess this lady owns a tarantula and like threw a bunch of shit at this lady and then threw a tarantula at her and stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a wild interview with her that we're going to watch now. It's pretty long.
A candidate for Hennepin County Commissioner is facing a misdemeanor assault charge after a very strange argument with her housemate.
Marissa Simonetti rented space to a local attorney who says she just needed a quiet place to study for the California bar exam. But in just under 3 weeks, that arrangement fell apart. And that's an understatement. Fox 9's Karen Scullen is in the newsroom with this bizarre story. Karen, you've covered too many odd stories for me to count. This one ranks up there.
It does. It's a wild one. First, of course, there's the big question on whether Simonetti should have been renting out anything, as she's not actually the homeowner. But no matter what, it all ended with Simonetti saying what happened was funny. But Jackie Vasquez is definitely not laughing. In this 5-bedroom Medina home, Marissa Simonetti was living upstairs. Jackie Vasquez was staying on the lower level. And on Friday, when things got heated between the two, Jackie started recording. Simonetti is blasting loud Christian music, banging pots and pans and screaming. But then it gets even more intense as she tosses a tarantula down the stairs and a myriad of other things. You did throw things and the tarantula thing down the stairs.
That tarantula thing, that Home Alone, that Kevin McAllister, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But now,
So you were just trying to be funny.
I mean, there is an element of humor to that movie, yes. And at the end, what was I supposed to do?
It looks and it sounds a little unhinged. You sound a little unhinged in that video.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Unhinged got her out of the house.
The battle apparently started because Vasquez was complaining of a spider infestation. Simonetti says her complaints were nonstop, and she asked Vasquez to leave, but she wouldn't. And then says Vasquez sent harassing messages. Simonetti says she and her son expect kindness and respect in their home. But do you understand that, like, just from an outsider, what you did wasn't maybe kindness and respectful? I mean,
Well, so perhaps as someone who's in my home not paying a squatter, perhaps I should have invited her up for tea and crumpets.
Vasquez says she wasn't a squatter and she paid $1,500 to stay there. Simonetti told Fox 9 that Vasquez did in fact pay, but then talked in circles a bit. Simonetti says she will still run for Hennepin County Commissioner. Do you think you're fit to run for Hennepin County Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm good at creatively solving problems, and at the end of the day, I didn't physically harm anybody. I'm a little unconventional in my ways. Sometimes, I mean, I'm a silly goose.
Now, I should mention both women say they felt threatened and scared of the other one. There is a judge's order that the two stay apart, but Vasquez has moved out of the home. Simonetti was granted a public defender. Her next court appearance is mid-July. In the newsroom, Karen Scullen, Fox 9.
I stand by.
Gotta be careful on Airbnb. I don't know how much people realize this, but those guys, like, once you go in there and rent their shit, they can do anything to you. You gotta be careful in there.
Bro, I had a
Oh.
weird Airbnb thing. First, so I was in Detroit and I stayed at this comic's house,
Yeah.
and it was disgusting.
Right.
It was like the grossest place I've ever been in. The couch I was sleeping on was disgusting. It was icky, dude.
Yeah.
And within like 30 minutes of being there, there was a couch that someone had put out on the street. This neighborhood was fine. It was a nice looking couch.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, is there any chance you would help me like move that couch in here? I think that's nicer than the one you're sleeping on. I'm like, what, dude? Are you asking me to help move in a street couch for me to sleep on? This is how you host people?
Dude.
And so the next day, I just said, fuck it. And I got out of there. While he was at work, I packed my shit. And I was like, I'm going to take a hit. I'm going to get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And a friend, like, I was talking to someone about what's going on. They were like, here's some money. Go to an Airbnb. And I was like, sick.
Nice.
I'll take that charity right now.
Yeah,
This sucks.
yeah.
Got the fuck out of there. Went to this Airbnb. This building, it's like they're not supposed to Airbnb their places.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of those.
Right. And so I kind of fuck up, like make it kind of obvious that I'm there to stay at someone else's place, you know? Which, by the way, I'm fine being shady. If you just been like, hey, like when you get to the front door, say this, I would have been like, oh, okay. I'll play it slick. I'll,
Put it in the
as
notes.
long as the place is nice, I'll help you
Put it
run
in
your
the
little
notes,
scheme,
yeah.
dude. Just send me a text or something, you know?
Yeah.
But it was not like that. This lady was very, very fucking.
Shame.
She was just very shady. And then so fucking the next morning after I slept the first night, they slid like an eviction notice under the door.
Oh
Like, you
my
can't
God,
Airbnb
dude.
people here. And they were like knocking on the door and shit. So I left this gross place and then I was like, I'll just go to an Airbnb. And then this place was like, you can't be here. And I was like, what,
That's
dude?
so fucking funny.
I ended up talking to the front, like the desk lady, like said something to me. I was like, look, I got the place on Airbnb. Like I'm booked up there. Whatever there, you can kick out like your tenant, but you can't really kick me out.
Yeah.
I'm staying here one more night.
Yeah.
I'm gone forever. I'll give you the key. I won't even give it back to her. And they're like, all right.
That's awesome. That's sick. And they like let you do it?
Yeah. I don't think there was much legally they could do. They couldn't like
Yeah.
have the cops come remove me or something.
Yeah, because they have to wait a certain number of days
yeah,
or
and
whatever.
like it was
before
over
they
the
can do it.
weekend. Like,
That's good for you. That's crazy though.
but it was just
You
a
got
wild
evicted
couple of
from an
days.
Airbnb.
Yeah, dude.
We
I
don't
just
have
wanted
to,
a place to sleep that didn't have crumbs.
we don't have to watch the rest of this because it's more of the same. This lady's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
She's like I love I love Home Alone.
Does she bring up other movies or just Home Alone?
She only brings up Home Alone, but she's
Like, actually, I watched the Home Alone 2. That's when I got introduced to Donald Trump for the first time.
Yeah.
I've supported him ever since. And I think the Republican Party should still endorse me.
dude, what did she say? She said the GOP, the Minnesota GOP is not interested in winning candidates who have the kahunas, which I think she means cojones, but she
Yeah.
said the kahunas
Right.
to create real change. They are interested in grifting and wasting time. This is why CD3 chair Randy Sutter was telling people to take my signs down after we made it through the primary. It's just weird, dude. It's like this lady really honestly believes that she's...
This all seems so mild for the Republican Party to be like, I don't know if we can handle this.
They're like, yeah, our vice president shot a dog, but this lady dumped a tarantula on some stairs.
Wait, did he say who was? Is it Bober or is it Gnome? It's not Gnome, is it?
No, but
He said he was going to reveal it at the debate, right? Ah, fuck it. Who cares?
No, dude. I think it would be really funny if it was that lady. I mean, honestly, dude, the problem with being a Republican candidate like Donald Trump is like there's nobody that he can pick that's like actually gonna like help him that much unless he was like I pick Alex Jones or
Yeah,
something, but
or,
that
like,
would
do, like,
ruin it probably.
The
That would
RFK
hurt him
route and
too
just
much.
pick the person with the most money.
Yeah,
It'll
but
just put the most into like ads for him and shit.
but like in the Republican Party, that's not really like a good like because the thing is that he has to please like these people who believe that he's not that are worried about him like backtracking. That was what Mike Pence was. Mike Pence was like an ode to like all the religious fundamentalist people.
But all of them are voting for Trump.
All of them are voting for Trump anyways, but I would say that like he still has to like do something that like he has to pick the right person. He can't just pick anybody. RFK Jr. can pick anybody because he's not gonna actually win. Like the most he's hoping for is to spoil it for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like but with his vice president, I don't think that that's actually going to happen. Everybody got really pissed off at him after he picked his vice president. Do you know anything about that lady?
She's so rich. It's so much money, and
Yeah.
he needed ballot access. That was like
Do you know how she got rich? She used
like
to be
every other rich woman on the planet, divorced a rich man.
yes, but dude, she was. But that is what happened to her.
I know that's what happened.
And she got divorced because she had an affair with Elon Musk.
No, dude, he denied
on
that.
Sergey
They
Brin.
both deny it.
Dude, no. You can see there's so many pictures of Elon Musk because him and Sergey Brin used to be friends.
Right.
He was like the head of Google, and then they stopped being friends.
And
like,
he's like,
right
no,
around
I
the
didn't
time.
fuck your wife, please.
And then he'll take selfies of himself like with Sergey Brin like turn the other direction in the background, and he'll literally post them and be like, "See, guys, we're cool." Like with captions that are like, "See, everything's cool with me and Sergey," like all this stuff, dude. And that's that's how that lady got her money. I support it though. It's like whatever, dude. If I think that it's like, how different is it really that like this rich lady, this rich divorcee, like bought her way into being vice president than like
It's the
any
American
other
way,
any
yeah.
other vice president? You know what I mean? So yeah, whatever. It's fine. I mean, I think it's funny that she had to divorce her husband because she slept with Elon Musk. He's such a loser, dude. He's like a dork. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one, dude. This is about a guy who he was trying to like hit on some women on the street. He was trying to like catcall. But his idea to do it was that he mixed some of his piss and flour into a bottle and then was like spraying it on ladies.
Oh.
Dude, this is how dumb guys are. Is this dude all over the world? And I mean, like, obviously this is an extreme example, but this
He's
guy
not like
was
doing
like,
a bit.
well, it was kind of a bit because his whole thing was like, he was like, how am I going to talk to women? He's like, I know, dude. I'll like squirt something on them so that it appears that something got on their
assert
clothes.
dominance.
Well, no, yeah, he's like, I'll mark them.
Yeah.
No, he thought his idea was like, he's like, I'll squirt some of my piss and flour on to these ladies, and it'll like mess up their clothes, and then I can be like, oh hey, your clothes are messed up, by the way.
I have this Tide pin. What a coincidence.
So crazy, dude.
Oh no, right in the snatch. That sucks. I can get that. I got these wipes.
Just such a freak, dude. Such a weird. It's so strange, dude. He's like, yeah, but a squirt pee. I think it's just such a funny way to like.
Was that him at the top? Did they interview him?
Yeah. He's from
Is this
Singapore.
in Singapore?
Yeah, it's in Singapore. So.
Oh, don't they like
That's
beat you for
him.
doing stuff like that?
I don't know for sure. Maybe. I don't think that it's gonna
You
be
can get
particular.
caned there for spitting your gum out, right?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the correct place?
Yeah.
I don't. My world knowledge isn't that vast, but I'm pretty sure in Singapore you can get caned for spitting your gum out.
Yeah, I think that they definitely have a much stricter sense of justice in Singapore than we do in America. I would say that, but yeah, I would say whatever's going to happen to him, it's not going to be pleasant. It's
Does
not
he
gonna be
talk? Is there an
pleasant.
interview?
There's no interview with this
Damn
guy.
it. I want to hear this guy talk.
Dude, no, he just wanted to create an opportunity for him to talk to some ladies. He admitted.
That's what he said.
He admitted to doing it. He was like, "Yeah, I
Well, you
did it."
can't squirt piss on someone and be like, "Oh, what?"
I think honestly, dude, I believe him. I think that he's just like doesn't know, probably. Like
You don't think he was just lying to the news and the cops?
I don't even think that he. I don't know. It's like, why would you put the flour in it if you just wanted to squirt your pee on people? It seems like putting the flour in there would make it easier to get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it like left like a mark. Cause a couple of these women were like, I thought that it was bird.
But if he's
poo.
trying to wipe him down, if he's trying to cop a feel,
I
you
don't
gotta have a
think
little
that
something, little substance.
The
on there.
wiping
I gotta
him
get
down
that
thing
off.
was you added that. You added that. That's
Well, come on,
part of
that's what he's doing.
That's part of your routine. He said what he said, and it only ever got to this point because he did it to like 3 women. And the first 2 ladies didn't even notice. Like, he squirted them and then got too nervous to talk to them. He squirted them with pee. It was like, oh, sorry. Like, really quick.
You get like a chick's number in like middle school or high school, and you dial, and they answer like, "Ha."
Yeah.
What was I even? I never even had a plan. Why would you dial the number without a plan? I was never gonna say anything.
Yeah, dude, exactly. He's so funny. He's squirting pee on them, and the first 2 like didn't notice, but then they like ended up finding the 2 ladies, I guess. But the second lady like immediately noticed and like was like, what? And like touched, and then was like, this smells like piss. And then he was like
turns out it's your lucky day.
he was like,
That's my
hey baby.
piss.
And so yeah, he finally like went through with it the 3rd time, and it actually failed so horrifically that he got arrested. His plan to pick up chicks was so bad that he is in jail in Singapore now. That's pretty tough.
Getting beaten mercilessly.
Yeah, dude, you gotta admit
They should
that's
send him to the women's prison and let them all pee on him. That should be his punishment. He should just get golden showered by a bunch of gross prison women.
I have a feeling that this guy probably wouldn't think that's much of a punishment.
No.
He's like, I thought you guys were sending me to prison. This is heaven.
He like plays it cool. He's like, no. And then he gets in there. He's like, ah. And you're like, oh, what? He got us, dude. No way.
Oh, what's my favorite part about prison? The showers.
Every shower's golden.
No, I think that an actual good punishment would be no peeing on anybody anymore. He's not allowed. No video games, bud. You've been playing too many video games. It's clear.
That's fine, but why? Piss on him too.
I'm sure he'll get peed on, dude. Come on, he's going to.
I'm an eye for an eye kind of guy, though, when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I think we should have cut OJ's head off a long time ago.
Why, dude? He didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
Well, he's found not guilty, dude. I mean, what do you want to just?
But he was found like socially responsible or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, look, dude. I don't read the fine print. I don't look into the details.
Hey, will you put on another glove before you try on this glove that fits like a glove?
Do you think they practiced putting on the glove?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how
Did
he's
you see
gonna
how
do
stiff
it?
his handed? He's like,
Dude, yeah.
I got those football hands. I can't move them, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, like, you do this to put in. He's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Dude, they should have gotten whoever trained OJ to do that glove. They should have gotten them to do Joe Biden's debate. That's what we need, dude. We need to let's get Kim Kardashian's.
I don't know what he just said. I don't even think he did either.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian's dad. Let's get him in there, dude. Teach. Well, he's dead. Never mind. I forgot.
You know, Joe, he can't even get it up anymore. I don't know what Jill does at night.
Dude, that is
Jill's a very impressive woman. She's a strong woman. She's got to be getting pleased somewhere. It can't be this guy, though.
That's gonna be the next debate, dude. I feel like we're really close to having like.
I mean, the guy can't even
jokes
fuck anymore.
about-
You want him to be president?
I do think that we're getting really close to jokes about like these guys teeing off on each other's dicks or whatever.
You see the way he kept looking at me during the debate. This guy obviously needs to get off. He's too backed up.
Dude, you got to stop. You're giving Donald Trump
this
too
is
many
elder
good
abuse.
ideas.
Let the man come. I hate Joe, Dirty Joe, Sleepy Joe, Crooked Joe, but every man deserves to come.
You're doing too good. This is, dude, no. Donald Trump is going to get too many good ideas of what to say about Joe Biden from this. Donald Trump's a huge jakin.off fan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He likes that I tell it like it is. He's like, that Jake Redpath, he tells it like it is. Dude, the last thing I had to talk about, this one is actually just kind of fucked up, but the Supreme Court ruled that it's okay to make it illegal for homeless people to sleep outside. I don't know if you knew about this.
Oh, okay. So it's illegal for them to sleep outside, and there's also not enough shelters.
Yeah.
Sick, bro.
Yeah. So it basically like makes it.
Have I told you about the homeless guy in my neighborhood that I'm pissed at?
No. Oh, what's he like?
He's not actually homeless.
Oh, okay.
But he's been asking for change.
Oh.
I think he lost his job.
Oh, that's tough.
But also, he sits on his Vespa with 30-day tags on it and asks for change. I was like, bro, you still buying shit. It's been pissing me off, dude. He's stopped at my house on his Vespa a few times and talked to me, just like regularly, and now he's asking me for change. He asked how much I wanted for my van. He's like, how much for the van?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And then he was
like
"Can
a week
I
later,
have
he's
some
like, you got any
money?"
spare change? But he asked Jessica in English, and then when I walked up, because I got a little tan this summer, he asked me in Spanish. I was like, bro, we've talked. You tried to buy my car. You can't have any money. We live on the same street.
That's really funny, actually. That's hilarious. No, I didn't know that there was.
So if every homeless guy was like this guy, then yes, it should be illegal to sleep outside. Because I know where you live, bitch. Quit asking me for money.
Dude, but obviously,
Like federally?
yeah. Well, so I mean, it's obviously
But like cities and states are allowed to do this now.
it has really big implications because, yeah, a city in Oregon, of all places, actually, it's like Oregon is such a wild place because a lot of people, I don't even know if they like realize it. Like, you know, you have like Portland and like the sort of surrounding area there that's like obviously, and then you know there's some other cities like Eugene and that kind of stuff. But like also there's a lot of areas in Oregon that are like ding 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 ding.
Yeah. Every
Like,
state's got
really-
areas like that.
But dude, it's crazy there because they're in the state of Oregon, I'm pretty sure for like fucking well, the state was founded, they were like not only like they're like
You know, the people are complaining. They're saying my Supreme Court justice has made it illegal to sleep outside. But why are the people outside? It's just Joe Biden. Look what he's done to the housing market. Everybody's homeless now. It's a disaster. He's the worst president of all time.
But their state like constitution when it was written, they were like black people can't even come here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're not even. It's like they have like a really like
Oregon was like, we're
racist
hippies,
constitution.
but
Yeah.
we also don't like black people.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
And when its founding, it was not a lot of hippies. It was more like I'd say like
More than like they were loose. They
Klansmen?
like loose
They had
with
a
the
lot of-
rules. They liked freedom.
They had yeah. Let's just say there were a lot of libertarians in Oregon at the beginning.
Hey, stop giving them such a bad rap, dude. They booed Donald Trump at their convention. All right?
Who gives a fuck, dude? Those guys are crazy. Those guys are so silly, dude. Their whole debate, they'll be like, should we have driver's licenses? It's like, come on, dude.
Too many sovereign citizens in there.
Yeah,
they need to get rid of them.
Guys, we have already, dude. John McAfee, when John McAfee was running for the Libertarian candidacy a while back,
before he killed
died.
himself.
Yeah, dude, he was too dangerous.
Before
John
him and Epstein
McAfee
planned their
was
suicides
too-
together.
John McAfee was too dangerous. Obviously the Epstein stuff I get because that guy, but like John McAfee being dangerous is really funny to me.
I
Because
thought it was more like he had some pretty powerful enemies that he pissed off. Not like they were threatened by him.
dude, I
don't remember the conspiracy.
He was getting in disputes with his neighbor. He maybe because he lived in Bolivia, I think it was, or it might have been Belize actually. I think it was Belize, and he murdered his neighbor in Belize.
Yeah, he
killed the guy
did some Robert Durst shit.
because that guy like killed his dogs or something like that. And so that guy killed his dogs, and then John McAfee killed him, and then he like went on the run. But his whole thing was he like said that he had to flee America for some reason. And actually what it was is like now we know is like that he was being investigated for tax fraud. He'd
Yeah, all
been
sorts
doing
of shit.
tax
He was
fraud.
crazy.
And he was having people shit on him too. Like he would hire prostitutes in Belize to come in and like he would lay under a hammock and they would poop through the hammock on top of him. Yeah, and then he was like, and then after a while he was like, I'm sick of getting pooped on by prostitutes in Belize. I'm going to run for president of the United States. And the Libertarian Party was like, come on in, bud. They're like, we've been waiting. We've been waiting for a guy just like you. And, dude, it was so funny to watch him in those debates because he would say nothing. Like, he would be like, I think we need to have the least amount of government for the most amount of stuff. And everybody would just be like, whoa, yeah. And then Gary Johnson would be like, I think it's reasonable to have driver's licenses. And people would be like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit.
There's a guy at the club the other night that has some very sovereign citizen vibes.
Dude, nice, yeah.
He was the headliner was like doing the first few minutes of his act in German. It was,
Oh
like,
my God.
kind of a gag, you know?
Oh,
It was
okay,
funny.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
funny
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And this guy is sitting in the corner, and he's just like, "Oh yeah," like doing like a German accent, like back to him, like just keeps like responding to him. And so the security guy like walked over to him and was like, "Buddy, like you got to be quiet."
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Right. And then turned around to start walking away after telling him to be quiet, and made it like 3 steps before the dude did it again. And so he had to turn back around and was like, "If you do it again, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave." And the guy's just like, I'll fucking go now. And like started kicking himself out. And then 5 minutes into a headliner set, just starts storming through the room.
Ugh.
And I'm like standing by the doors. And I was like, oh God. So I just kind of get out of the way. Security guy chases him down and and he's like, you need to close your tab. He's like, no, I don't. And he flings the front door open and goes, you will not stand between me and my freedom. And just storms out. And I was like, whoa. And then I walked out and tried to watch him walk to his car. Because I was like, I bet that guy has a gun. He might be going to get it.
Dude, it's funny to think about that's maybe what all the founding fathers seemed like to the people in their communities. Like this, they're all just getting ripped in bars and just being like, I'm fucking sick
bullshit.
of this shit.
Did you get that boat? Is the boat locked down? Can anybody fucking sail it?
Dude, the thing about like sovereign citizen kind of people is like, yeah, they're dumb. Like that, believing in that kind of stuff. Like, it's like you really have to like buy into a lot to like get to being like an actual sovereign citizen. But it's really funny to have people like that.
I think some of them don't buy into all the deep conspiracies. I think some of them are just like, so I just gotta say this and I'm free.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
rules,
yeah.
dude.
They see the YouTube.
I think there's some pretty shallow.
There's a lot of people who see the YouTube videos and they're like, "Oh, that's how you're supposed to talk to the cops."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, not really, but okay. And but that's why it's so funny to have them around because if anything ever like happens like that, and it's like I don't, obviously, like I don't think that there's very many people in our community that are like that, but you find out whenever somebody shows, like a cop shows up in some situation, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Am I being detained? Am I being detained?" Which actually is something that
That
you
is
should
something you
say
can
to
say, yeah.
the police, but not it shouldn't be the first thing that you say to them.
You shouldn't lead off with it.
Yeah. Maybe hello. Am I being detained?
What's the most disrespectful thing you've ever said to a cop?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Please don't give me a ticket, please, sir. No, I think that there have been times where I've lied to the police.
Well, yeah, dude. We all do that.
Yeah. So I'd say, but yeah, I'm not going out of my way to be like, "Fuck you, pig." If I have the opportunity to talk to them in like a regular fashion, I would maybe tell them that I disagree with their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking fry you like bacon," especially not if I'm alone.
I ham it up with them when something happens around my house.
Yeah.
I like to know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that's it though, dude. I mean, like, I'm not having like a lot of like interactions with police other than like if I get pulled over.
Can I tell you about my last interaction with police?
Yeah.
That had me very upset.
Yeah.
I might have already told you. You remember my neighbor's house caught on fire,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Your
there was
neighbor's
that,
house caught
and
on
cops
fire.
were all
Very
over the place.
cool fire, by the way, where they're like
It was
finding.
contained to the basement.
Yeah.
Say what you will about that. There might have been some vodka bottles with mysterious blue liquids that tested positive for weed killer.
Hey, look, nobody's proved anything about Dustin's neighbor.
Nope. And then, like a week later, there was like a fatal accident in front of my house.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah.
so I wake up to this impact. I just wake up to like boom, and I run outside and I just see like chaos. And so I just go out in the street because people are still like driving through it. Like, you gotta get to work. That
just
accident
not
wrecked.
giving a fuck
Yeah,
at all.
and so I just
which
went
is
and like
insane.
stood in the street and like stopped
Yeah.
the cars to like let the cops and shit in. So I'm being a good guy, right?
Yeah, you're
I stopped traffic to let
being
the
not just a good guy, a good civilian.
yeah.
Yeah, good
Because
citizen.
like I'm not a doctor, or there's already
Yeah.
people looking in both cars. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
I can offer medically.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
yeah,
stand in the street and
Yeah.
help these cops and firemen get in.
Yeah.
Then like a couple hours later, like it's a big wreck. It's a mess everywhere. They're taking pictures.
Yeah.
And towards
yeah.
like the very end, they're like sweeping up shit, and these cops start snooping around my van,
dude.
which had expired tags, and it's been sitting there for a while. Doesn't run right now, but it's. My neighbor usually has like 8 cars parked outside his house, dude. It's chaos in my neighborhood. I just have one
Yeah.
van sitting
Yeah.
out there. It's
Yeah.
not violent, and the cops start looking at it, and then they start snickering,
No.
start laughing at my van.
Oh, dude.
They're over pointing and smiling and laughing at my van, and then they start looking at the tags, like, oh, look at this, and then I get written a citation for the van,
God.
right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is the problem with the van?
After you helped,
I was like I was a good dude today.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if some
yeah,
drunk
yeah.
guy hits somebody in front of my house and now I get a ticket.
Yeah.
How does that
That's
work?
crazy.
That sucks, dude. Just because you
They're like,
cops
yeah,
are
we
fucking
actually
bored.
had to let the other guy off because your tags were
Yeah.
expired.
And like I ran to Quick Trip or something. So when they started asking Jessica about the van,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh yeah, he's working on it right now.
Yeah.
I was like, why'd you say that? And then like,
Yeah.
oh, inoperable vehicle in the roadway. Yeah, can't do that, bud.
Oh, dude.
So anyway, yeah, so I had to pay to tow my van into my own driveway. It cost me $140. It was either that or a $200 ticket. Those were my choices. But after all this, then they start asking like Jessica about Lonnie's cars and Lonnie's house.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, there was a fire there last week. What's up with all these cars over here? And at that point, we were both like, we're
Dude,
not going to fucking...
fuck you.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Why would I tell you
yeah.
anything? Fuck you. I will say it. Pig. Fuck you, fucking pig, dude. I didn't say that because I'm too scared.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking. And then after all that, I'm inside. I'm in my kitchen. I'm just staring out the windows at the cops.
Yeah.
This cop just takes a load off, starts leaning on my van.
Ah, dude.
And now I'm like, I have that salt gun that I use to kill
Yeah,
flies.
yeah.
I just like cocked it. And
You're
was
like pointing at it. Inside your house.
And
The cop can't
I
see
went
you,
into my
like,
garage and I
pointing
just
at
started just unloading all the flies. Dude. I had to kill something. I was so fucking livid, dude. I was like, don't go outside. Don't say a word to that cop, or
dude.
you're gonna be.
What a piece of shit,
Yeah,
though.
dude.
That's so fucked up. And see, dude,
And then they wonder why people don't like him.
yeah, they're like, "What's the problem? What problem do people have with
Not
cops?"
to
It's
compare
like,
that as like shooting a black guy, but it was pretty bad what they did to me.
Yeah, dude. But it's just like any community. The problem is like, so anybody can become a cop. They're just like,
Yeah.
they're like, we'll take
It's
anybody.
harder to get a hair like a license to cut hair.
Yes, yes, dude. It is. There are so many other jobs. That
Oh, you
it's-
want to cut hair? That's gonna be like probably
Yeah.
3-4 months, maybe 6 months,
Yeah.
maybe even a year. Of school,
You're gonna have to do some training.
You want to have a gun and pull people over? 6 weeks. We got you, dude. You got your GED. Let's go, dude. Here's your gun.
Yeah, but it's just because they call it an academy.
Yeah,
Like, it
dude.
makes it sound better. They're like, well, they go to an academy. It's like, well, yeah, but it's not really an academy. It's like a fucking 4-week long. It just like teach you to hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we made it to the end of the podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was great. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Did we do almost 2 hours?
No. That's just it's telling us that it's the first hour of recording. So that's how the
Oh.
time on that works. But yeah, where can people find where are you at on social media?
Oh shit.
Social media.
Yeah, I gotta start getting better at that. I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Well, you got a job,
Dustin
dude.
Slentz.
You got a job taking care of the neighborhood, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dustin's neighborhood, making sure that some guy on a Vespa doesn't.
Fuck the fake homeless people. Fuck the cops. My neighbor's cool. Keep lighting fires and have the cops looking at you, bro. All eyes off me. Respect to the streets.
Yeah.
That's Dustin Slentz on Instagram. That's all.
Nice. Hell yeah. And as always, follow this podcast at jakin.off.podcast. And send anything at all to jakin.off.podcast. I'll look at it at least one time. That's the Jakin Off guarantee. You
Oh,
guys know.
yeah.
And yeah, you can Knuckleheads every Sunday. I keep if you're in Kansas City, come to Knuckleheads on a Sunday. We do a comedy show there every Sunday. I host it. We have really funny comedians from Kansas City and also from all over the country, and it's a really fun time. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of it. I love you. Bye-bye.